Good morning, students. Welcome back to your online session for physics class today. Now, let us first of all recall what we did in our last class. In our last class, we began with point number 1.1, and in that point, we discussed about matter. Matter is that which occupies space and has mass, and it is composed of elements. Then we discussed about elements, then atom, and then molecules. Now today we are going to begin with point number 1.2, that is on page number 10, point number 1.2. Okay, first of all let us see what all are we going to discuss in this point. The three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gases. And we will see the arrangement of molecules in these three matters, and then we are going to discuss solids, liquids, and gases. Okay, let us begin with it. Now see, I hope you all can see this picture over here: solid, liquid, and gases. And here we can see the arrangement of molecules in these three states of matter. Students, can you see the molecules that are arranged over here? Right? These are very tightly packed, right? We don't see space between these molecules. So it is called as tightly packed because it is a solid. And to change any solid's shape, we really need to work hard, or to just very tightly we have to do to change the shape. And then secondly, we can see liquid, and the molecules arranged over here are little bit loosely packed, right? They are not very close to each other like of solid. And then we can see gas. The molecules over here are very loosely packed. I mean, they are very far from each other, right? So this is how the molecules in each matter are arranged. Okay, let us move on to our book. See, matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gases. First of all, we are going to discuss about solids. Matter that is composed of atoms packed tightly together are known as solids. Solids are those things in which matter are atoms packed tightly are composed, okay, in this solid state. Now see, I hope you all know what are solids, right? This is a pen and this is a solid, right? This is in solid shape. Now can I just change its shape easily? Even if I'll try to break it, it will not break easily, right? So this is because of the atoms that it is composed of. It is composed of some atoms, and they are tightly packed like this. So this is the reason why we are unable to change the shape of this solid easily. We can't change the shape easily. Okay, now another examples, or the picture you can see over here. This is a brick, right? And we cannot break the brick very easily. Am I right? We have to really try to break it very hardly. Okay, then only it will break down. Then this is ice. Okay, so even for to break this ice, we have to uh, break it with any container or with any hard material, right? So you cannot walk through a solid wall. This is a very true statement, that if we have a wall in front of us, can we walk through it? No, we cannot walk through it. The matter is packed so tight that it prevents you from moving through it. Okay, solids hold their shape at room temperature. The pencil that you are left in the desk at school will still be the same shape when you return tomorrow. Yes, the pencil or the pen or any sharpener or pencil box that we leave in our school or anywhere, okay, remains the same whatever shape we have left, okay. Even if we will go and check after a few days, after few weeks, or after few months, okay. Even in solids, there is a small space between the atoms. Depending on how tight the atoms are packed, determines the density of matter. It is not that the particles or the atoms are very packed in a solid, because solids are of different types, okay. So even the solids have few or some small space between the atoms, but it depends on how tight the atoms are packed determines the density of matter. By looking at the solid thing, we will come to know, or we can just see how tightly the atoms are packed. Because see, even these two things are solid, but we can still change their shape. We can still just compress it. I can still just change the shape of this rubber band, although it is a solid. So this is the perfect example of how the atoms are arranged in a solid. It depends on the density of matter. This means that 1-inch block of wood is not as dense as 1-inch block of gold. See, the block of wood, if we will see, and a block of gold, we will see, the block of gold will have more density, okay. It will be more tight. There is more space between the atoms of wood than the atoms of gold. The block of wood will have more space of atoms. The atoms will be arranged with having more space rather than that of atoms of gold, okay, or the block of gold. Let us see further by considering the following articles: a pen, a book, a needle, and a piece of wooden stick. So these are few examples that we can see: a pen, a book, a needle, and a piece of wooden stick. See, a pen, we cannot break the pen very easily, right? Although it is also a solid. A book is also a solid, but we can slowly uh, turn the pages of the book, right? Although it is also a solid. A needle can be broken down very easily. We can break the needle very easily, but we cannot break the wooden stick as easily as that of a needle, right? So these are few examples, okay. Now let us move forward. All the above are examples of solid. All these things are solid. We can observe that all these have a definite shape, distinct boundaries, and fixed volumes. That is, have negligible compressibility. It means they have a fixed shape, definite shape, distinct boundaries, and fixed volume, and they cannot be compressed easily. Okay, solids have a tendency to maintain their shape when subjected to outside force. Solids also have a tendency that they can maintain their shape even if if the outside force will be given. Even then they will maintain their shape. They will not change their shape. Solids may break under force, but it is difficult to change their shape, so they are rigid. Solids may break, but it is difficult to change their shape. I can break this pen, okay, after giving it so much force. If I'll apply, then I can break this pen, but I cannot change its shape easily, okay. So they are rigid. Now consider the following. What about sugar? When kept in different jars, it takes the shape of the jar. Is it a solid? Sugar, I hope you all have seen it. Few small particles it have, right? Small shapes. So if I'll pour the sugar, or if I'll keep the sugar in other different shapes containers, it will change its shape. But it is a solid. Yes, it is a solid. What about a sponge? See, I hope you all have seen this sponge, right? It is also a solid, but it can change its shape after compressing it. But it is a solid. Now again I will show this rubber band. It is a solid, but it can change its shape after stretching it. See, I have stretched it and it has changed its shape. Now let us see why is it so. All the above are solids as the shape of each individual sugar crystal remains fixed, whether we take it in our hand, put it in a plate or in jar. The shape of sugar crystal remains fixed, right? If I'll take the sugar in my hand or in any container or in any box, the shape of the sugar will remain same, right? So yes, it is a solid. And a sponge has a minute holes in which the air is trapped. When we press it, the air is expelled out and we are unable to compress it. Now see sponge. We can compress it, but at last it will take its own shape, and it can be compressed because it has air inside it. In this part it has air, so that is the reason we can compress it easily. Now a rubber band changes shape under force and regains the same shape when the force is removed. If excessive force is applied, it breaks. Same thing happens with this, that it can be stretched, right? But at last it will come to its original shape. Okay, and if we will apply excessive force, then it will surely break down. I hope you all know it, that if I'll just stretch it too much, it will surely break. So this is what we have read in this solid part. Let us see it once again. Solids: matter that is composed of atoms packed tightly together are known as solids. Now after this we will see liquids. Liquids do not hold their shape at room temperature. At room temperature means at a normal temperature they do not hold their own shape, because I hope you all can see over here, this is water, okay, in a glass. So in this glass it has holded the shape of this glass. The water has hold the shape of this glass. And see, these are some juices and these glasses are of different shape and different size. So the liquid that is inside these glasses has hold the shape of these glasses. So it means at room temperature liquids do not hold their shape. Okay, let us read further about it. There is space between the atoms of a liquid and they move slightly all of the time. Now see, the molecules that are arranged in liquid are loosely packed. Okay, so this allows you to stick your finger into water and pull it back out, because the atoms are loosely packed, so it doesn't stick our finger. It doesn't keep our finger inside. Okay, so it allows us to stick your finger into water. We can put our finger inside water and we can easily pull it back, right? Pull it out, letting the water fill back in where your finger once was. But when walking through the water in the swimming pool, you have to push the water out of the way. This means that you will feel the heaviness of the water. Liquids flow or pour and can take on the shape of a container. Yes, in whatever shape, container shape we will put the liquid, it will take its shape. If I'll keep some liquid in this hand, in my hand, it will take my hand's shape. And if I'll put the liquid in this box, it will take its shape, this one. Okay, this shape that liquid will take, right? Similarly, in any shapes container, liquid will take its shape. If the liquid is poured into a wider or narrower container, the liquid will take on that new shape. If we will pour the liquid in narrow container or wider container, the liquid will take that same shape. Liquids are affected by gravity. It happens because of the gravity. If you pour only half a cup of milk, the top half of the container would have no milk. Liquids cannot be handled to another handed to another person well without the container? Yes. See, can I give water or any juice to any person without any container? Is it possible? No. Because to give liquid form to any person, we need a container. Okay, right? So we cannot hand it the liquid to any other person without a container. Imagine going into a restaurant and asking for a lemonade. What if the waiter just puts the lemonade into your hand, no glass or cup? So this is what they are asking us to imagine. If we ask a waiter in a restaurant to give us lemonade or any juice or any shake, can he give me that lemonade without any glass or without any cup? How will he give it? He cannot give it, right? Or he cannot even lay it down on the table to drink in a few minutes. Can he just pour that lemonade on a table and can we drink it after some time? No, not possible. So even water in a river or lake has a container. I hope you all have seen a river or a lake, right? So even though that water also have a container in the form of that bottom or the shore or the banks, that corner, yeah, right? If this is the shape of the river, so that corners is actually the container of the river. Okay. Now let us move on to gases. Gas particles have a great deal of space between them and have high kinetic energy. In gas particles, I hope you all can see that the atoms are arranged very loosely packed. So they have lots of space between them and they have high kinetic energy. Thus, a gas has no definite shape and no definite volume. So that is why the gas has no definite shape and no definite volume. I hope you can see this smoke over here and this one over here. So they don't have any particular shape. Now let us read further about it. Gas particles have a let us begin with this. If unconfined, the particles of a gas will spread out indefinitely. If confined, the gas will expand to fill its container. It means if we will have anything in which we will fill the gas, it will have its container. But if we don't have anything in which we have to fill up the gas, it will spread out. Right, it will spread out. And the best example for this is if we will fill the gas in a balloon, that outer layer of the balloon will become its container, right? And it used to expand itself. The balloon used to expand itself. But then if someone is smoking and you can see the smoke, right? So it doesn't have any shape, any container. It just spreads out. The gas just spreads out indefinitely. It means in any direction it will spread out. When the gas is put under pressure, by reducing the volume of the container, the space between particles is reduced and the pressure exerted by their collision increases. If the volume of the container is held constant but the temperature of the gas increase, then the pressure will also increase. Gas particles have enough kinetic energy to overcome intermolecular forces that holds solids and liquids together. Thus, a gas has no definite volume and no definite shape. It means in the gaseous state, the particles move about randomly at high speed. In gaseous state, the particles that are there, they just move rapidly at very high speed. And due to this random movement, the particles hit each other and also the walls of the container. The particles, if wherever the gas is filled up, they hit each other and they also hit the walls of the container, the layer in which the gas has been filled up. The pressure exerted by the gas is because of this force exerted by the gas particles per unit on the walls of the container. Why this pressure is exerted? Because the force exerted by the gas particles, the particles that are there inside, the force exerts, okay, and how it exerts per unit area on the walls of the container, on these walls of the container, the force exerts, okay. So this is why they move in a random movement. They have random movements and they hit each other. So once again, students, let us see this arrangement of molecules in three states of matter. In solid, they are tightly packed, but it depends if few things have more tightly packed atoms and few things have little bit less tightly packed atoms, okay. And in liquid, they are loosely packed, and in gas, they are very loosely packed, okay. So please read this point from here, from the page number 10 1.2 to page number 11 over here, okay. And if you have any doubt, please let me know. I will clarify it. Have a good day, students. Take care.